Now, in continuation with arrays, we have here employee.java. So this is our blueprint for the class template for our employees. Now, we have three instance variables for each employee: employee number, first name, and last name. And we have the constructors that are overloading. We have the default constructor, the constructor with parameters, in which the constructor with parameters we have called, we have invoked the set employee method, okay, to set the data members for our employee. And we have individual setters and getters. And we have a method print info, employee info, to print the employee's information. And we have the toString method to display the employee's objects, okay, or employee's description. And in the main class, to declare and use the array of objects, we have to create our array of employees. So here, so we have an array of employees. We have to use the reference variable emp is equal to new employee, and the size is to be entered by the user. Say for example, okay, and we have to use the scanner object for the user's input. Static scanner like sc is equal to new scanner system.in, and we need to import the scanner class. So the package util, so alt enter, and we have to use add import for java.util.scanner, then enter. So we have here, so we'll be using this sc object for using the scanner methods. Sc.next int, then here we're going to instruct the user to enter the size, okay, the number of employees. Okay. Then we're going to put here the size according to the size being entered by the user. And then in order that um, those for example 6 employees, you have to get the first name, last name, and the employee number is shall we say auto incremented. Okay, so we have to use loop for that to instantiate each of the employee. Okay, so we'll be using loop, and of course we'll be using index. Okay, starts at 0, I is less than size, then I plus plus. Then here we have to, okay, sorry, we have less than. Okay, we will be asking for the user to enter the first name and last name of each employee. Okay, for example, I have the F name here. First name, name, then okay, we will be using the next line method. See that next line in order to consume the remaining line, because we will be asking for the user to enter the first name and last name of each employee. And for example, there are two word names for the first name and last name. The next line will be used to consume, or for preventing of skipping of lines for users input, we will use next line method. And here, uh, string f name is equal to sc dot next line. So we will be using this local variable f name to store the first name of the employee. Then last name, we have string l name is equal to sc dot next line. And of course, we have to consume the remaining line here. So next line. Okay. And also, after entering here, okay, then to instantiate each of the employees, or the 7 or 6 employees according to the size being entered by the user here, we have to declare the 7 employees here. So emp sub I is equal to new employee, and call the constructor here. For the constructor, we have to pass the argument for the empnum, first name, and last name. For the employee number, for example, the default number of employee is 100. So 0 plus 1. Okay. For example, number plus 1. Then we have to declare our number here. Number, the default number 100. Then here, okay, this is for the employee ID number. The first name, we have the variable f name, then l name. Okay. Then after which uh, we have populated the number of employees, we're going to display those employees info. So we'll be using or invoking this toString method. Okay. So using the statement system.out.println, then the employee object will be used. So again, we'll be using for loop to display the number of employees here, objects, and I for the index and starts at 0. I is less than the size, then I plus plus. Then here, okay, system.out.println, we will put each employee's info in a new line and concatenate the result of the toString method. So using the object and sub I. Let's try to save and run. So here, um, please enter the number of employees. For example, 3 employees. First name, Jessica Reyes. Then the second employee, for example, mm, Sheena Reyes. Then the third employee, Jess Curtis. So the first employee, okay. So we have to solve this one to make the employee number auto incremented. Okay, first name, the second employee, the third employee. Now, to solve this first uh, argument of here, number plus equals, okay, here. Now let's try to run again. For example, for employees, first name, second is Curtis, then the third, Mary. Mm, Oli. The next, Pedro. Jose. Okay, so we have here the 4 employees.